The opinions expressed on Goddess of the Nile Radio are expressions for informational and entertainment purposes only, and are not intended as a diagnosis, treatment, or a substitute for professional advice. Please consult a professional for your specific needs or concerns. We encourage you to use the topics discussed to generate your own conversation within the community. Should you have any questions or concerns regarding the content of the show, please feel free to use the hashtag GNR or email lovenileradio@gmail.com.
Goddess of the Nile Radio would like to thank our social media sponsors, Dope Curves, Noah's Jungle Bunch, and Chelsea by Chance. Our anonymous sponsor for assisting in making this YouTube live possible. Our small business sponsors, Divine Chakras LLC and Haru Heads. Our artist sponsors, Tanisha Clark and Kenora Berry. Our spiritual supporters, Collective Conscious Minds, Yeshua's Lightworkers, Indigo 11, and Sacred Woman Indigo Circle. And a special thank you to our Patreon members and followers. And to the most important people that make this dream possible, you, our listeners. We are Goddess of the Nile Radio, and we do this for you.
You are now listening to Goddess of the Nile Radio.
It is your birthright to accept and receive the goodness of the world, the tools to create your destiny, the love and nourishment from others, a life of abundance, days filled with propositions, manifested success coming from places that serve you, manifested success poured into your life and the lives of others. You are guided and given the authority to receive the gifts of the universe, for these gifts have already been given to you long before your arrival here. Your faith in yourself makes it real and opens the doors for manifestation to rush in. Your consciousness is open to receive and to give. It is your birthright, and it is done now.
You are now listening to Goddess of the Nile Radio.
Through this mantra of manifestation, all things are possible. We proclaim absolutely that all of us are living in a friendly universe that is always providing for us. We have felt it happening, and we are feeling it happening now. We are open to receive more abundance than we have ever experienced before. We can afford and do anything that our heart desires. We need never to worry again. We are filled with an attitude of gratitude for what we already have and all that we are giving and ready to give. We keep ourselves lifted in high consciousness no matter what the appearances are. The universe is always providing in our favor. We are creators of our today and our tomorrow. Reciting a mantra is an excellent way to start your day. Calm you down while you are upset and refocus your consciousness. For a copy of this mantra, please feel free to visit our Patreon account by searching for Goddess of the Nile Radio on patreon.com. It's your girl Azure Neteru Gaia, and I'm out. Peace.
You are now listening to Goddess of the Nile Radio. Listening to Goddess of the Nile Radio.
Hey guys, welcome back to Goddess of the Nile Radio Show live right here on the WinDC Radio app and YouTube channel. Today we are talking about the dangers of watching porn. The dangers of dating during the first stages of your, I almost say your sobriety. What am I thinking about? That must have been a message out there for some of you guys. But during the beginning of your spiritual walk, like the dangers of dating while you're going through that whole entire process. And I was getting into, because before we talk about the dangers of watching porn, we first have to talk about fantasies, our fantasies, and who we are allowing to regulate our fantasies, right? That's something to think about. We have to think about, or we're supposed to think about during the break, how many of our personal life decisions were influenced by television or by the music that we listen to. Okay? You see, the images that we are seeing in movies and television shows, they can easily make us laugh, right? A good comedy, Kevin Hart. They can make us cry. A good Tyler Perry play or a movie can make us cry. It can cause us to be fearful of things. Maybe we have a fear of snakes and don't know why. Could it be because of the movie Snakes on a Plane? You know? Where are fears really, really coming from? Where are they really, really coming from? Are they coming from us or are they coming from them? Okay? The news. You know, guys, I always tell y'all, turn off that news because the news can very easily generate fear. Have you ever ran to the grocery store and bought tons of bread and milk, you know, thinking that there's going to be this huge snowstorm and the snow comes and it's only an inch or two? That's that fear. What was wrong with the food you already had in your grocery, in your house? You have a whole huge freezer full of stuff. Like, did you really need to go out and get milk and cheese? Or did the news influence your decision? What about having doubt in yourself? What about doubting yourself? What if you are meant to be an entrepreneur? Maybe you're not meant to go to someone's learning institution, someone's university. What if you're not meant to do that? What if you're meant to actually be using your hands and taking a trade in building cars or fixing cars or doing hair and being a hairstylist? What if that's your destiny? Is what you're seeing on television, is it influencing you to go off to a university because they say that that's what you need to do? Are you afraid to travel to Africa because of the images that you see of Africa? Did you know that Africa has some of the best, most gorgeous beaches you could ever find on this planet? Yeah, they do that. You see, when we turn off the television or the mass radio production, see, WinDC Radio they're giving me a platform to talk to you guys. And it's independently owned. Yeah, it's independently owned. So the messages and the entertainment that you receive from WinDC Radio or from Goddess of the Nile radio show is coming from our hearts. We're not doing this to like program you. We're doing this to awaken you, to heal you, to let you know that, yes, when you support the small businesses, you're supporting your community. When you're supporting the small artists, the independent artists, you're supporting your community. You're keeping people off the streets. You're keeping them off of drugs. You're keeping them away from the entrances of 7-Eleven, always asking for $1. You're creating jobs within your community. See, we need to begin to leave our homes and go out into our communities and support our local artists, our local poet, our local singers. We need to gather together and have block parties. Our local catering business. You know Aunt Ray Ray or Renisha or Aunt Rhonda. You know Aunt Rhonda can cook. Maybe Aunt Rhonda needs to have her own catering business. Or remember the candy lady growing up? Whatever happened to the candy lady? Did she get replaced by corporate America? We are controlled through fear. We are controlled through fear. Many of us suffer from horrible anxiety. And fears comes from movies, music, advertising, and I'm going to hurt some feelings, but I got to say it, religions, and the government, or as they say from my neighborhood, the government. Okay? We are controlled through fear. There's a fear of war. There's a fear that there is not enough for everyone. So now we have less children. Our bodies are all out of whack because we're supposed to have, as melanin women, we're supposed to have an abundance of children, and we're told, oh, only have one, only have two. There's not enough. You're making six figures, and you're saying there's not enough. But you got little Keisha, who's making $25,000 a year. She has 6 kids, and her kids are the flyest in the school building. And it's not because of welfare either. It's because Keisha's out here hustling. She's out here being an entrepreneur. That's what she's doing. They're teaching us that only those who prove themselves in the money game are allocated to resources. The only people who can make a whole bunch of money are the only people who can receive an abundance of resources. This way of thinking is limiting our natural way to evolve, our natural way of evolution. They limit us through copywriting our material. We don't want to give stuff away. We don't want to sing anymore in the middle of the community because we're afraid someone's going to steal our music. So what? If you're good, you're good. Sing in your community. Yeah, and I know a lot of people are like, no, you need to have your stuff copywritten. But don't allow for the lack of the funds of getting your stuff copywritten to stop you from getting your music out there, getting your message out there. Everything is not about social numbers or these rules or limitations. It's not. We do not have to march to these beats and these rules. We can make our own daggone rules. We can be independent artists and business owners within our own community. What if you are holding on to a piece of material right now that can save little Johnny's life? But you're sitting there holding on to it because you need to spend $300, $400 on licenses and stuff, right? Is that holding you back? Get it out there. Yeah, get yourself legit too, but put the stuff out there. I'm putting my stuff out there. Free 99 workshops. You know how Azure do. I'm giving it away because I'm not going to hold on to it while y'all sitting over there suffering and hurting and being programmed by this system. I got to sip some water. Give me a second. Because that's what y'all are doing. That's exactly what y'all are doing. You see, when we break free from that limiting system, when we see how things really are, we're not going to watch TV anymore. But if you want to keep on watching TV, then go ahead. But know that it is designed to keep us as consumers. It's not designed to get us healthy. It's designed to put us on their medicine and make us sick and make us afraid so they can continue to control us. It is using us only to make a certain group wealthy. That's the word I was looking for. Our behaviors are easily controlled and modified, like we're some type of model. We're beginning to resemble those of frightened sheep. Cardi B is the best rapper of all times. Who told y'all that? Who told y'all that? Really? Cardi B? Really? Who told y'all that? Because y'all didn't get that message from an OG. Y'all got that message from what y'all see on television. Oh my God, the Migos. The Migos is like a modern day version of Mobb Deep. Are you serious? And I know Auntie Azure is getting old. I'm already ancient. And I get it. And I love the Migos. They got nice beats. I like the way their production their production is really cool to me. I don't like their lyrics, but the production of the music is really cool to me. And I have an open mind. But if something sucks, it sucks. If someone looks stupid because they're wearing something stupid, they just look stupid. Please don't tell me that they're allowed to look stupid because they're rich. That is something that just, it shivers my timbers sometimes. Shivers my timbers. Or whatever I just said. But what's happening is we are being controlled. And our body is being controlled. And when you turn on that television, it's almost as if we have a sedative that's implanted in us. Okay? So what does all of this talk that Azur's been doing for the past hour, what does all of this talk have to do about the dangers of porn? Why is porn so dangerous, Azur? I'm going to tell you guys why. Because sometimes the only way that you're going to be able to understand how something can affect you is if someone comes up and tells you face to face or voice to voice or ear to ear how it has affected them. So I'm going to tell you guys, you know I love to tell my stories. When I was a kid, my parents used to love to go to card games. Love to go to card games. And they left my brother and I home, which they could. A lot of parents did that. My brother was of age, so he was old enough to watch me. And my brother was downstairs, and I was always like hanging out in front of the television set. And I loved watching Nickelodeon. Nick at Night. That was my thing to do as a kid in elementary school. And flicking through the TV set, staying up, watching Nick at Night, commercials came on, and I started flicking through the television set. We had, remember A and B cable channels? So Nickelodeon resided on the B side. But something, I don't know what that something was like, hey, go to the A side. And that's what I did. I went on the A side and I found Showtime. Or was it HBO? One of those. I think it was HBO. And that's when little Azur discovered porn. I was about 8 or 9 years old. And every time my parents would leave, they couldn't even get out the driveway good. I was watching this porn, this soft porn that was being displayed on cable television. And what I was seeing, what was happening to little Azur was not seeing a real reality of what intimacy looks like. What she was seeing was, what is that noise? I'm sorry, guys, I got distracted. My bad. I was like, what is that noise? It's part of the background music. It's like, who is that Jamaican person talking? See, this is what I do. When I talk about something uncomfortable, I always get distracted. All right. Let me focus. But actually what was happening was little Azur was seeing a false reality of how a man, this dominant man, treats this woman. Azur was seeing this false reality that the woman was lesser than. The woman was there to serve physically the man who was playing the male role. And if she did this, if the woman was to do this, then she would be rewarded. And I was seeing this, and my little young elementary school brain was being programmed by what I was seeing visually. And not unknowingly, I had a hunger. I had developed this hunger for attention and affection. And I didn't understand why. I didn't really pay any mind to it. I just thought that I was just being a teen. And I found myself repeating this situation over and over and over again, all the way up until my adulthood. Because this programming had began when I was young. So it was in me. It was in my foundation. And it wasn't until I began the healing process of Sacred Woman, of Yoni Egg healing, and of connecting to the lower level, the lower self of me, connecting to myself, connecting to the negative versions of me. It wasn't until I began to heal myself that I realized where this behavior in me was coming from. I was living out things that I had seen visually when I was a child. I was living that false reality. I was trying to live it. And my body was rejecting, my mind was rejecting what my body was doing. And therefore, I needed to have alcohol or some type of substance so that I can continue with this fantasy, if that makes any sense. This unreal reality. Yeah, that's pretty deep, right? Well, I'm going to let that swirl around in your head for a little bit. How were you influenced by porn when you were a kid? How were you influenced? Think about it. We're going to take a break and we're going to be right back. Today we're talking about the dangers of porn. I am your host for today, Azure Neteru Gaia. Thanks for tuning in to Goddess of the Now Radio. We'll be right back.
He had has more thorns than a rose garden, but his tulips were made for mine. To the world, he's a dandelion. Every flower just needs some light. I told him to watch and see. In the right room with the right love, all flowers bloom. And then he said to me, would you watch me when the sun goes to sleep? Stay and talk to me. So beneath my feet, dry up all my leaves. Will you watch me? Will you watch me? Will you watch me? Watch me, watch me. World goes to sleep, but wake with me. You're the sky to my wandering star. When the world goes to sleep, wake with me. You're the sky to my wandering star. Watch me, watch me, watch me, watch me.
Greetings to all of you in the language of love, the universal language. Beauty is the splendor of truth. Use your hearts for what your hearts are for. Fill them with light. Do not fill them with darkness. The light of the human heart, when it's given faith, if it were opened up, it would blind the world. May this message give us eyes with which to see, ears with which to hear, and hearts with which to love each other and to love the world and to do good.
You're not using your heart for what hearts are for. They've been trying to shut us down our whole life. I thank God for healing. You ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own life. Thank God for listening. Listen, you've been trying to build me up my whole life. I thank God for building. You ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own life. I thank God I'm living. Sometimes I feel like a stranger. Baby, I ain't from here. World going crazy. How could that be unclear? Know that I'm a soldier. Hearts on my battleground. Sword in the holster. Had to come back around. I ain't trying to hide away. I just had to meditate. I ain't got a lot to say. What the ancestors made. Speaking to the whole globe. Numbers don't occur to me. You can listen solo. Cause you're the whole world to me. I jump in with both feet. Nothing low key. You can find me where I'm supposed to be. Where my folks be. If you listen very closely, you know who chose me. Nothing that I own owns me. And so I'm so free. I remember being hungry, needing groceries, nighttime getting no sleep till my nose bleed. Got a message to the police. You're not using your heart for what hearts are for. They've been trying to shut us down our whole life. I thank God for healing. You ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own life. Thank God for listening. Listen, you've been trying to build me up my whole life. I thank God for building. You ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own life. I thank God I'm living. Not for 1 second. second I believe what you're telling me. I know you invent the disease and sell the remedy. Universe is sending me centuries of memories. So the very breath that I breathe is all I ever need. I got that Muhammad Ali up in my pedigree. Yes, I be speaking my piece up in my 70s. Ain't worried about you threatening me. I'm just being honest. I ain't buying fear just because it's all you got left. We just wanna make love till we wake up. I believe whoever made us envisioned greatness, and you know they wanna paint us with the same brush, wanna entertain us till we feel our grave up. Alright, okay, but when it's all said and it's all done, and I look back at the trophies I won, I will only count one. I'm using my heart for what hearts are for. They've been trying to shut us down our whole life. I thank God for healing. You ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own light. Thank God for listening. Listen, you've been trying to build me up my whole life. I thank God for building. You ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own light. I thank God I'm living, and I know who I am. I know whose I am. On your wings I fly, in your shoes I stand. I'm animated by love, I don't move by chance. Any stage I touch, any place I stand, there y'all land. Living in the world as it is, craft vessel I am. No more and no less than a man. Any possessions that I have are just in my hand. I balance them the best that I can. I'm not making no claims, but I'm using my heart for what hearts are for. All the beauty in this whole life. I thank God for healing, and you ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own light. I thank God for listening. Listen, you've been trying to build me up my whole life. I thank God for building. You ain't gotta get me lit, I got my own light. I thank God I'm living, just reflecting all the beauty in this whole life.
Hey guys, welcome back to Goddess of the Nile radio show, live right here on the WinDC Radio app and YouTube channel. Today we are talking about the dangers of watching porn. Yes, we are talking about the dangers of watching porn, because this ish is dangerous. It's dangerous to your heart, your mind, your body, your soul, your future connections. We are literally being programmed. And it's time for us to wake up and snap right on out of it. See, when I was a little girl, maybe about 9 or 10 years old, I saw a lot of male domination in watching porn. I always saw a power control of a woman being dominated by a man. I saw that if a woman wanted certain things, she had to perform sexually. Unknowing to my mom, I was being exposed to this. And all last week, all I could think about was poor little Relisha Rudd. And I don't know why she kept coming into my soul and into my spirit and into my heart. And if you aren't from the Maryland area, you need to research Relisha Rudd, because her mother sold her mother sold her. Her mother sold her. And there's some sickos out here. And it starts from porn on Showtime, but it escalates to child pornography. It escalates. But those are one of the dangers, but I'm talking today about programming. You see, when I was a teenager, when I was an older teenager, maybe 18, 19 years old, I was influenced by young women. My rock stars, my idols were Little Kim, Foxy Brown, Trina. I was influenced by them. So here you got a little girl who grew up watching porn, right? Those images are now in my brain. Now I'm a teenager, and now I have them controlling my mind with what I'm listening to, because Little Kim told me all I had to do was some things and I'll get a Mercedes. You know, Foxy Brown wasn't too far away from that. And we all know about Trina, right? She was basically being sponsored by a pimp. This is the images. These are the images that the media gave me. They gave me Lauryn Hill too, but by that time, Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown had already took up the space in my head. And my decision making for relationships, my picker in my brain was broken. It was broken for a very long time, and it needed to be healed. It needed to be healed. And I was going to counseling, and I was talking to the doctor and telling the doctor what was going on with me, but I never told the doctor about what I was doing when I was a kid, what I exposed myself to as a kid. Mom didn't know, Dad didn't know. As I got older, even before I began to heal myself, I had researched the porn industry and the sex entertainment industry because my best friend at the time, she was an aspiring stripper. Everybody else was going to college and she wanted to go strip. Sometimes having one-on-one conversations with these strippers or these prostitutes or these porn stars, I was informed that this life was being displayed in movies and in clubs. This life, it wasn't real. Stadium nightclub, all the makeup and the weaves past your butt and the heels, that wasn't real. It's not real, guys. These people are messed up. They're messed up and they're exposing us to their messed up energy. Porn stars are paid actors and are not enjoying the act of pornography. They're not enjoying the act of intimacy. They're paid to do what they do. Many porn stars are depressed and they have abandonment issues or have had some type of sexual traumas in their life. So when you're sitting there in front of your computer screen or your phone or when you're sitting in front of that screen and you're sitting there watching a porn, you're actually allowing for that transfer of energy to come through and get into your energy. As the viewer, you are being programmed to believe in this fantasy. If you are a woman, you may feel like you are not good enough. If you don't look like, or if you're not performing like the woman you see in the video. I want to be like the woman in the video. No, you don't, boo. Because she messed up. She's really, really messed up. And then you're performing some type of acts that you don't even believe in yourself. You're resenting your boyfriend or your husband. You're resenting him because you're performing stuff that you don't even want to do, trying to make him happy. What about your happiness? Oh, and brothers? I can't leave y'all out because if you are a male, you may feel like you're not good enough because maybe you are not looking like the guys in the video. I wish I was a little bit taller. Wish I was a baller. No, you don't, boo. Because them dudes you seen in the video, you may be like, man, they got it, man. No, they don't. They don't. Males are being programmed to feel like women are to perform like porn stars, and there is no emotional attachment that's going on in our relationships. They create this fantasy for themselves and expect for their real life partner to own up to this fantasy. This is actually a programming that was done to their brains. This was happening to our guys. Many porn stars are under the spell of programming themselves. A lot of programming going on, y'all. They are being programmed to think that, you know, the porn stars and the strippers and the prostitutes are all being programmed to think and feel like if they do these acts, if they do all this stuff, they'll get an abundance of money and an abundance of wealth. Well, I totally disrespected my body, but look at my house. Look at my car. Well, sis, look at your insides. How's your insides doing? Well, bro, look at your insides. How are your insides doing? Are you all right? Are you able to sleep at night? Or are you crying every night in your big old house? Are you riding down the street in your big old luxury car, my brother, and you're feeling so empty and so drained? What's going on with that? Porn does not show you intimacy, trust, or compassion. So when you are indulging constantly into watching porn, you are disrespecting yourself. You're putting yourself in a situation where you are unable to connect to another human being romantically. You are programming yourself to be promiscuous, insecure, and you lose the sense of compassion for the other person. You are forgetting when you are watching porn that you are losing the compassion. You are forgetting that the person you are watching on the screen is a sister. That's someone's mother, someone's father, someone's brother. You're forgetting about that. This person belongs to someone's family. Watching porn, a lot of porn, is a sign that you are not in love with yourself. You are not feeding yourself love by exposing yourself to these low vibrational images. Porn desensitizes us so much that we forget how to communicate in a relationship or how to just be with our partner. Just be. Why can't we just sit in the bed together and I lay my head on your chest? Why can't we just be? Why can't we just cuddle up and watch a movie without you groping all on me? Why can't we just be? Why can't we just walk and spend time by the water and just, I find out about you and you find out about me? Why can't we just be? We lose energy. Watching porn takes our energy. Sometimes it can develop into an addiction. It changes the essences of who we are. Is engaging in watching porn, is it serving your higher purpose? I'm talking to my spiritual folks now. Oh yeah, I'm talking to you guys. You watching porn, is it getting you closer to your life purpose? Is it helping you to create the best version of yourself? What you see with your eyes goes into your self-consciousness. When you are releasing your DNA on that young girl's eyelashes and hair weave, you are losing a part of you. You are losing a part of who you are. If you are giving your DNA away to someone you are in love with, you are reproducing. But if you're just giving your DNA, you splashing it all over the place, you are losing a piece of yourself. During your spiritual walk, you should begin to learn more about your character defects and things of that nature. During your spiritual walk, you have to begin to love and have a sense of compassion for mankind. You guys, we got to start turning off that television set. We got to stop listening to mass media artists. And we got to start bringing it back into the community. So I'm going to let all of that swirl around in your heads, and we're going to take a quick music break, and then we're going to come back and talk about the dangers of dating during the beginning of your spiritual walk. I'm your host, Azure Neteru Gaia, live right here on the WinDC Radio app and YouTube channel. I'll be right back. Peace.
You are now listening to Goddess of the Now Radio.
Come again, when you light us up again. Yeah.